What's up guys, how you all doing? Cosmic Carry here, bringing you a very special video. As you can see on screen, I'm bringing you footage of a 2006 game called Battlestations Midway. And why am I bringing you the footage of this game? Well, the reason being is because Wargaming.net is going to be releasing World of Battleships, and who knows when. Don't know if it's this year or next year. Haven't got a clue when it's going to happen. But what I do know is that it's for now definitely not coming to the Xbox 360. It's it's not going to happen for now anyway. And if you're like me, kind of cheesed off about that, kind of peed off about that, may I suggest an alternative, Battlestations Midway. When I saw the footage or screenshots, I can't remember, of World of Battleships, the first thing that I thought was, this game, it looks just like Battlestations Midway. I actually thought it looks like they're ripping them off, but then again, when I thought about it, it's battleships, it's a battleship game, of course it's going to look similar, of course it's going to look the same. But the second reason, I'm bringing you this footage is this is actually a fantastic game. Back in the day when I used to play this, I loved the hell out of this game, and it is still up and running on multiplayer. It's somewhat diminished in the number of players, but it is what it is. It's still a fantastic game to play. The graphics pretty good, for a 360 game from 8 years ago. The graphics are actually, fantastic, to tell you the truth. But the actual game is a joy to play. It's loads of fun. The game is based on a whole bunch of historical battles in the Pacific from World War II, sea battles, pardon me. And the multiplayer is fantastic. The multiplayer is what makes this game. The multiplayer, back in the day, there was a big community that used to play this game, and it was so much fun to play. There was there was so much respect, a sense of camaraderie. Am I saying that right? And this is me going on the other day. I literally haven't played this game in I think a year or two, but when I used to play this game, I used to play it all the time. So let's just commentate, and I'll chit chat here and there about the game in general. The actual game, when you play the actual game, it's a fantastic campaign. It really is loads of fun. You can play each mission on different settings, hard, easy, medium, etc, etc. The cutscenes are seriously cheesy, but the actual battles, fantastic, loads of fun. But multiplayer, it just takes it to another level. So here I'm playing as the Japanese on the battles of Samar, and I am, as you can see on the larger map, the Japanese are indicated by the yellow ships, and the allies, the Americans, are indicated by the blue ships. And I am in the fleet that's being spearheaded by the Yamato. The Yamato was the biggest battleship of its time in the Japanese Imperial Navy. Humongous thing. Still to this day, I believe it's the biggest battleship that was ever built. During World War II, it was twice the size of any other battleship built in the world. It is humongous. It was a battleship built around its guns, big humongous guns, seriously wide, twice as wide as the American battleships. But American battleships were restricted by the size of the Panama Canal, because they had to go through there, and so the Japanese didn't have this restriction, so they could just have at it. It was, the Yamato was actually built in total secrecy. Here you can see me basically setting up my fleet, assigning the crews to the duties, forming up all my ships around the Yamato. And if you if we zoom in, if you look like to my left, to my right, I've instructed like my destroyers to go in like a hedgehog formation. You can see the bright yellow, that's the ship, that's the Yamato, and I've instructed all my destroyers to form like a hedgehog formation around the Yamato. The aim of this particular game, my aim, is to sink all the Americans. The aim of the American team, this is I forgot to mention, did I mention this is, of course, this is multiplayer. It's just one-on-one. I mean, look at that action, it's fantastic. Yeah, so much fun. The aim of the Americans, they have one goal, you know, sink the Yamato. That's the only goal they have in this game type, you know, the Battle of Samar. You know, and the reason why their goal is sounds so easy and sounds so simple is because of how OP and powerful the Yamato is in this game, you know, and it was in real life. Big, humongous, heavy machine, big, humongous guns. And as you can see, you spend a lot of time on the minimap. What you do is you micromanage your whole fleet on the minimap. You know, you give orders. You know, you split up your fleet. You know, I've split up my fleet. I'm sending my cruisers. You can see them up top there, to go and attack the American aircraft carrier, whilst my battleships are kind of taking care of the 2 American battleships. And the little rectangular ship that's highlighted in white just there 2 seconds ago is being pursued, as you can see, I'm pointing them out, by American destroyers. So you're constantly multitasking in this game. You're constantly, you know, micromanaging your fleet. You're switching, you know, units here, there, everywhere. As you can see, I've come into range of this battleship, the New York, and the Yamato's just letting rip. We talk about leading your shot in World of Tanks, and this is leading your shot on a whole nother level. You know, look at this. This is cool as hell. You know, quite difficult to do because you got to level it up perfectly with the, you know, level of the ship that you're aiming at. See, I missed there. And you gotta lead it exactly right, or you're gonna, you know, your shells are gonna land in front of the ship or behind the ship. And you're constantly looking at the mini map, you know, kind of checking out the situation. Do I need to do, you know, change anything, change the flow of the game, you know, because you have to, like I said, you're micromanaging, you're multitasking. So you can direct your whole fleet from the mini map basically, or you can go into literally each individual unit and take over that unit. You know, you could and go for it. You can play the whole game in one single unit and set your whole fleet on autopilot mode. As you can see, my little orange planes, those are fighter planes that have been launched from my aircraft carrier. And you can launch 3 different types of aircraft from your aircraft carrier. You can launch fighters, you can launch bombers, and you can launch torpedo bombers. And there's a ton of different units in this game. I mean, there's you can fly flying fortresses. There's PT boats, cruisers, destroyers, battleships. I mean, everything, seaplanes, you know. I mean, to me, this was an unbelievable game, you know. When it came out, it was so much love went into this game, you know, making it, and the complexity of, you know, fantastic game. Here you see me trying to take out this destroyer with my battleship. Destroyer is very difficult to hit because they're so small. So let's talk a little bit, you know, battleships, big, slow, lumbering beasts. They are what they are, you know. They can pound. If you get into range of them, they will pound you into oblivion. Cruisers like medium ships, their job basically is kind of like a mini battleship. They also hunt down destroyers. Destroyers, their job is, as you can see here, I am in range of the Yorktown aircraft carrier, and my cruiser is going to take out the Yorktown. Destroyers, quick, nimble, really fast. They got torpedoes. They hunt subs. Yes, there are subs in this game. Love playing the subs. Fantastic, very rewarding. In World of Battleships, subs will not be in the game. When I heard that, I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Subs are so cool, you know, so much fun to play. They are overpowered, but at the same time, you know, they're slow. You know, you run out of air. You know, there are a lot of like restrictions, you know, in playing subs. Here you show me. Here I show you. I'm instructing them all. I've taken out one of the aircraft carriers. There are actually 2 aircraft carriers on the American side, and because I've taken out one aircraft carrier, he's kind of my enemy is now restricted, you know, in how many planes he can put up. So I can bring my fighters down, and I can send out, you know, I'm going to be sending out my torpedo planes to attack the American battleship. And here you can see, you know, this is me, you know, micromanaging my fleet, you know, forming them up. And this is footage of me in my torpedo plane, torpedo bomber. I mean, look at those graphics. They actually came out with a sequel for this game. This is Battlestations Midway, and they came out with Battlestations Pacific. And as with a lot of game developers, you know, what a lot of game developers do is they muck it up with a sequel. You know, when it comes to the sequel, they put a whole bunch of stuff in it. They thought, you know, we'll throw everything, you know, and the kitchen sink at it, and it'll be better. No, that's not what happened. People just didn't want to play Battlestations Pacific. They wanted to keep playing this game. Look at this. I love this. The adrenaline rush, you know, the AA fire blasting at me, and you got to skim the surface, and then at the last second you release your torpedo. You don't have to be watching from this point of view. You don't have to watch the torpedo going in. You can continue, you know, flying in your plane. But the thing was, once you released your torpedo, your plane became obsolete, you know, really. And a lot of people would actually, instead of spending the time of bringing the plane back into land and rearming and taking off, they would simply crash their plane, which meant they could, you know, send out fresh units, which would be, you know, much quicker. I love doing this. The adrenaline rush was so cool. You know, if you managed to dodge the AA, look at that. And of course, like I said, you didn't have to attack that, you know, the battleships personally with torpedoes. You could, AI would do that for you. The thing is, you know, AI, you know, wasn't as good as a human player. And here we see here we see me broadsiding the Pennsylvania. As you can see, my side is completely is facing that ship, the Pennsylvania. Am I going to go back? See, at the same time, you know, I'm micromanaging. Well, I was broadsiding him. We would call it T-boning the enemy, you know, because you bring your whole side of your battleship, all the guns to bear on the enemy, you know. And if he was facing you, that meant the only guns that were effective on his ship were the front two, you know. And look, the Pennsylvania actually has more health than I do, but I managed to take her out because I'm in the Yamato. It's an OP battleship. what the Americans need to be doing here is using their 2 battleships to kind of pincer move my Yamato to get broadside on one side and broadside on the other side, and then both battleships kind of let rip on the Yamato, and when that would happen, the Yamato would sink. And like I said before, this is a one-on-one battle. I'm playing with this nice gentleman called Rick, but normally back in the day it was 4 versus 4, so you only got had control of 2 to 4 units. You know, here I'm controlling all the units, and it is multitasking on a high level. You know, there she goes, epic. You know, it is just crazy multitasking, and you got to be good at it if you want to win the game. Sending out more planes, and here we look at this. Oh, this is fantastic. This is one of my destroyers, the Hagikaze, and he's doing it. Pardon me. He's doing a death run on the pardon me, sorry about that. He's doing like a death run, a suicide mission on the Enterprise. I'm trying to scoot in as close as I can to the Enterprise, and I'm gonna let rip, you know, with my torpedoes. And he is desperately trying to take me out, my Hagikaze, on low health. But I managed to release a whole salvo of torpedoes. Look at this, every single one. And check out the Enterprise's health. Look at that, poof, 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 poof. Fantastic. See his front dip down now. Fantastic. When you manage to do this, it'd be like exhilarating. You'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. So we're good to go here. You know, Hagikaze done its job. I managed to take out the second battleship. And here we go. We're going to finish off the Enterprise now. With another final torpedo run. Look at my compadre on the right. Look at those graphics. Pretty good for an 8-year-old game. Just like a movie. Enterprise almost done. Love playing this game. I don't play it these days because I've played this game to death, to tell you the truth. I think I played it for 2-3 years solidly, you know. And if you guys you know, are peed off about the whole, you know, World of Battleships, may I suggest go out and buy a copy of this game. Go out and get yourself a copy of this game. You know, tell your buddies, tell your Xbox buddies, and 3-on-3, 2-on-2, 2 versus 2, you know, 4 versus 4. You know, the lobbies are so easy to set up. You know, you can be the host. It's a kick-ass game. This game actually lasted for about 45 minutes. You know, you have to sit down and commit time, you know, if you want to play this game. I've played games an hour and a half. On average, it's about 45 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, something like that. But I have actually played like an hour or two one game. You know, they are epic games on an epic scale, you know, and they're based on real sea battles. Yeah. Let me know if you want some more of Battlestations Midway. You know, I can show you maybe some sub footage. Let me know. You know, I don't mind either ways.